to New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
Spartans! What is your profession?
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
It's time!
New Day with SSJ is presented by Walker Medical Linen Services, locally owned and operated, HLAC certified to the highest standards. Walker has partnerships with hospitals, surgery centers, and medical clinics in and around the metro area. Walker Medical Linen Services in Kansas City and online at walkermls.com.
And that's hit well, right center field. Rodriguez goes to the track at the wall, and it's a 3-run home run. Or did it stay in play? It did. Royals already have their hands in the air to want to take another look at it, and Vinny Pasquantino, who had to hesitate, as the Royals' first reaction was that ball was gone. And the runners held, or they didn't hold, they started jogging, and the Royals will not challenge.
But let's watch it. Rodriguez, totally misjudged it.
That's Rodriguez's reaction is what threw everybody off.
Oh.
Good morning, Kansas City. What the hell just happened? Stephen St. John here.
Just stopped. That was weird. I guess we're supposed to sit down now, right?
On New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Thank you so much for joining us on this Wednesday, July 2nd, 2025. Thank you very much for tuning in. We're going to have Mike Boddicker on the show in studio coming up at 6:30. He'll be here for about an hour and a half. Then we will chat with Matt Derrick from ChiefsDigest.com. And we'll also talk to Royals assistant GM Scott Sharp in the 9 o'clock hour. So we've got some good stuff to talk about. Finally, the Royals won, and they scored some runs. And so there you go. It's a lot better than the last couple of days, I can tell you that. Yeah, last night the Royals get things done in Seattle and get a nice victory on the road, and hopefully we'll, you know what, we've said this a couple of times, but hopefully this can start to turn things around, and maybe the Royals can go on a nice stretch, go on a hot streak right now, as they took care of business in Seattle last night. You heard that bizarre play where people thought Salvador Perez hit a home run because Rodriguez climbed the wall in an attempt to rob a home run, but he misjudged the ball and it was off the wall and he really wasn't even close. And that reminded people of, do you remember what Royals outfielder, we talked about this not very long ago, a few weeks ago.
Kerry Robinson?
Kerry Robinson, that's right. His was worse because that ball just hit the warning track. But we remember Kerry Robinson going up to try to take a home run away, and then the ball landed on the warning track. And that was when bizarre plays like that were kind of the norm for the Kansas City Royals. So that was interesting. And then Vinny Pasquantino had to haul ass and slide into home to score the run. And so Salvi thought he had a 3-run home run, but did not. But the Royals took it anyway because it was still a double. And the Royals end up going on to defeat the Seattle Mariners last night, thankfully, so we don't have to talk about the Royals losing for 4 hours today. Royals win it last night 6-3. Urseg ended up getting the victory, and the Royals, they faced a pitcher that has not had a good season, and they took care of business against Emerson Hancock, who came into the game with a 5+ ERA, and the Royals put up 5 runs on him. 6 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, 3 walks, only strikeouts. He only struck out 1 Royal, and so that's what they were supposed to do against him. Lorenzen, man, again, just not sharp. 4 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs. Didn't walk anyone, had 5 strikeouts, but his ERA is sitting at 4.95 now. But the bullpen did their job between Schreiber, Zerpa, Urseg, who got the win with a clean inning. Cruz got the hold, and Estevez comes in and gets save number 23. And so that's I know some people, especially my buddy Sam, don't fully believe in Schreiber and get nervous when he comes into the game. Zerpa, remember, he had his meltdown not too long ago, so the faith in him has been rattled, I think, in the fan base. But Urseg, Cruz, and Estevez, maybe that's your big 3 right now as far as being able to come in and shut everybody down. Urseg, after last night's clean inning, a 1.99 ERA, he gets the win. Cruz, with his 7th hold, now has a 2.14 ERA, and Estevez 2.02 ERA with his 23rd save after he pitched a perfect 9th inning. As far as the offensive stars, Salvi had 3 hits and 3 ribbies. Didn't get the home run, but still had a big night at the plate. Bobby Witt Jr. had a couple of hits. India was on base a couple of times. Michael Garcia had a ribby. It was good to see early on the Royals start the scoring or have a nice inning after they had after Lorenzen had given them an opportunity early, at least. Had a good first inning, and that was about it. But there was a sequence when Jack Caglione got a walk, and then Nick Lofton ended, I think he was, 0 for 23 or 0 for 24? And he got a hit, and then John Rave, who had struggled, also came through with a hit. So 3 guys that needed to produce combined to score a run for the Royals in that situation. That was big because they have not been good, and the bottom of the lineup has not produced. And those are 3 guys that needed to have some success. And that was in the top of the second after Cags walked. Lofton hit the double, Rave hit the single, and then Isbell grounded out, and then ended up scoring Lofton. And so the Royals jumped out to a 3-0 lead before Lorenzen gave up his first run. So that was a good night out at the ballpark last night for the Royals against the Mariners, winning 6-3, and now pushing the record to 40-46. And so we'll talk to Mike Boddicker about that, get his thoughts on what's going on with Michael Lorenzen. And look, he could be a trade piece if the Royals decide they're going to move some veterans. And so not only is he pitching and trying to pitch well and help the Royals, he could be auditioning for teams that either need him in the rotation or need him in the bullpen, because he could do both. And so hopefully he can help the Royals turn things around and they can get hot before the All-Star break. But just one game, but it was an important win last night, I thought. And it was nice to see them be able to put up 6 runs. Back at it again tonight against Seattle in Game 3 of their 4-game series. Noah Cameron goes on the mound against Logan Gilbert. Really good pitching matchup. Noah Cameron and Logan Gilbert tonight at 8:40. And so we'll see if the Royals can build on the momentum from last night and get after Logan Gilbert and get after the Mariners tonight and try to at least earn a split in the series. 4-game series in Seattle before they move on to Arizona to take on the Diamondbacks, who again have been damaged by injury. And so it might be a decent time to take on Arizona. We'll see, first things first, see if they can at least get a split of the series in Seattle. Also mentioned last night that Salvi had a big night with 3 hits and 3 ribbies. He moves up the all-time hits leaderboard in Royals history. And so right now in 7th place with 1,643 hits. It is Alex Gordon. Salvi surpasses him now, sitting at 1644. And so, will he crack the top 5? Let's see. It ain't going to be this year. So, 203. He needs 280 hits to get in the top 5. Will he
That'd be
get
a great
it?
second half.
Will he get it? Will he stick around long enough to get 280 hits as a Royal?
That's going to be pushing it.
What's your prediction?
I think he will.
Can you name the top 5?
George, Frank.
Ain't nobody reason. It's all in that era. It's all teammates.
McRae.
Yes. Hal McRae is 5th with 1924. George Brett is 1st with 3154. Frank White is 2nd with 2006. That leaves number 3 and number 4.
Willie Wilson.
Willie Wilson is number 4 with 1968.
Amos Otis.
Amos Otis is number 3, 1997. There you go. All-time hits leaderboard, Royals history. Number 1, George Brett, 3,154. Number 2, Frank White, 2006. Number 3, Amos Otis, 1997. Number 4, Willie Wilson, 1968. Number 5, Hal McRae, 1924. Salvi in 6th place with 1644. And number 7, Alex Gordon with 1643. So congratulations to Salvador Perez, moving up the all-time hits leaderboard. Will he catch Hal McRae at 1924? Who knows? Also last night, it was a good night for local product and Royals catching prospect out of Park Hill High School, Carter Jensen. You know, he recently was promoted to AAA. He hit 2 home runs last night for Omaha, and the second one was a bomb, went like 440 feet or something crazy like that. So, 442 feet. His second home run of the night last night against Iowa. 106.9 miles per hour off the bat, and he will be participating in, as we mentioned yesterday, the All-Star Futures game coming up on July 12th, representing the Royals along with Frank Mozzicato. But it's good to see Carter Jensen not only getting promoted to AAA, but being recognized in the Futures game, and then also hitting 2 bombs last night, including one 442 feet. And it makes it even better because he's a local kid, a Northland kid from Park Hill High School. Also, some very concerning news out of the WNBA. This had everyone rattled last night on social media. If you've been to a college basketball game or you watch college basketball, if you're a sports fan, then this should have really bothered you. We've seen several high-profile injuries in basketball over the past couple of months, especially in the NBA playoffs with Damian Lillard and Jason Tatum and Tyrese Halliburton. Now the injury bug goes to the WNBA. And this one stung. Because of the final of the WNBA Commissioner's Cup, at halftime, Red Panda took a spill. The wonderful lady who, that's the best, probably the best halftime show of any college basketball game you'll go to. Whenever anyone goes to an event and Red Panda is performing at halftime, people are fired up. Are you familiar with Red Panda?
I am not at all familiar. I see them at the zoo sometimes, but I don't know a performer.
She's the
by
lady
name
on the
of Red Panda.
unicycle, juggling the plates and doing all kinds of crazy stuff.
Oh, yeah.
She's awesome.
She'll like toss them up and bounce
Yes.
them on her head and stuff. I've
Red
seen,
Panda.
I did not know her name. I am sorry.
Red Panda fell off her giant unicycle last night and had to be helped off the court and was receiving medical attention.
That's terrible.
It is. You don't understand. Red Panda's more popular than most players and most teams. Everyone loves Red Panda.
She can be all right.
I don't know. I'm trying to get an update on this. There's the video, if you see, Drake. There she goes. Oh no. Up. And then she holds her leg.
That's a pretty good drop. Too.
Yeah.
It's like 10 feet.
That's why there's so much respect for Red Panda. Because she's out there on the unicycle doing all kinds of wonderful things that make people happy. And so, here's one report. Red Panda had to be helped off the court after falling during the Fever Links halftime show. Prayers up to a legend. People were very upset.
Doesn't look like she hit anything. Just a mechanical failure on the unicycle. What do we
Lost
think
her balance or something. I don't know.
But I mean, she has possibly the greatest balance I've ever seen to balance all that stuff on her head
Right.
while riding the unicycle.
That's why it's so shocking. She had to be wheeled off the floor. I'm looking at all of these different reactions. Big Cat posted, "Oh my God, no! Please be okay, Red Panda. Not Red Panda." They're in the locker room after the game. As I mentioned, this was in the Commissioner's Cup game between the Fever and the Lynx. Caitlin Clark sending a message of love to Red Panda. Red Panda, we love you. She was clutching her left wrist also. Look, man, this ain't funny. Red Panda brings joy to everyone. And
She's been doing that a long time too, hasn't she?
Yes. Yes. I need to do more research on how exactly how long. See, there's an article at SI.com. This was yes, the Royals won. Yes, there were other things going on. This might have been the top story in sports last night.
She's kind of the San Diego Chicken of today, right?
Yes. But the San Diego Chicken, I'm not a fan of because I stood in line for like 45 minutes to get a picture taken with the San Diego Chicken out at then Royal Stadium. And right when we got to the front, the San Diego Chicken, I guess, he had to be somewhere. He flew the coop. He went up the escalators, right? And I was so mad. I was with my mom. And I was a little kid. And it was a big deal. I was going to get my picture taken with the San Diego Chicken. And we get there, and he has to go, and he's doing that, going up the escalator.
The old shrug.
Yeah, and has beat goes, trying to make the kids laugh that are crying and upset.
But he can't ride a unicycle.
No. I was almost going to cuss.
I'm glad you did.
But I want to when talking about the San Diego Chicken because that's not a happy memory for me as a child.
I'm sorry I brought it up.
No, I'm not. I want people to understand that. But I'm looking. It was amazing that Yahoo Sports halftime show legend Red Panda, Wrong Crystal New, left Minnesota's Target Center in a wheelchair after falling from her 7-foot-tall unicycle. Red Panda appeared to injure her wrist in the fall. So, there you have it. And I mean people from all walks of life. last night were upset by this. I've been to a basketball game where Red Panda performed. It was wonderful.
I think the wheelchair had one wheel or two.
You know what? That's not funny. I don't know why you're doing this. Let me see what I'm trying to. How long? That's a great question. How long has she been doing this? Yeah, I'm looking at an update at SI.com.
Dylan here says since 1993.
Wow. According to the Athletics' Ben Pickman, she fell off her signature unicycle less than a minute into her performance, which stopped the act as she was helped off the floor and eventually wheeled away. And no, it doesn't say that she had one wheel or nothing with plates.
It would have been on brand.
She's a long-beloved figure across the sports world, mainly basketball fans, for her incredible acrobatics where she throws and balances bowl after bowl in a giant stack atop her head, all from the top of her unicycle. The gravity-defying act, of course, comes with risk, as the 5-foot performer gets up to 12 feet tall atop her unicycle, balancing metal bowls on her feet and catching them on her head. She's become famous around the world, mostly for her halftime performances across NBA, WNBA, and college basketball games. And so we offer thoughts and prayers up to Red Panda. Now here we're talking about Red Panda, and here comes Mike Boddicker in here. So, while the severity of the injury is currently unknown, Fieldhouse Files reported she left the court clutching her left wrist, which may have taken the brunt of the fall. As the entire basketball world hopes it's nothing serious, as we all await an update on her condition. So there. You thought this was going to be all about the Royals. There's more important things right now in sports than the Royals winning or losing.
Clearly.
You know, college basketball is right around the corner, and everyone looks forward and wins the Red Panda game. And we can't have, so I need to get on the phone with Dr. Vincent Key with the University of Kansas Health System. He's the best in the business. He's worked on me. He worked on my wife. He worked on Mike Boddicker. You get it, Dr. Key. If you're out there, you need to work on Red Panda and get her right. I don't like this. So there. Got that off my chest. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll see if Mike Boddicker can balance some bowls on his head. I'd like to see that. Just see him on a unicycle. We'll be right back after this on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Welcome back to New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. I turned the air off, Mike. That should be better now. What is it? This guy? You got the seat is low. Now you got a leather jacket, a bomber jacket on.
Yeah, this is pretty good. Thanks, Drake.
It's
30 degrees. Hey, wait a second. I know it's usually cool in here. I'm old. My blood's thin.
Right.
My skin's thin. I got no rear end left. The seats are cold even. I mean,
I'm not
sure. You're dealing with an old dude, man.
I don't know why. I mean, no, it absolutely is colder in here than it normally is.
I've been taking those no acetol pills.
What?
I got no acetol.
It's the same setting. You know.
Oh, I know.
So I don't know.
Red Panda. I heard you talking about Red Panda.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any updates. Just that she was perhaps injured her wrist and she left in a wheelchair.
Not good.
Because that woman has brought so much joy to the world.
Yeah, I agree.
Basketball fans.
Get Dr. Key on it.
Drake doesn't care, but he will.
Oh, he will.
He'll figure it out. He'll figure it out. You know. This is. See, look, there we go. People are doing the same thing as me, searching for an update. Here's another update. She tried to walk off the court, but was stopped by medical personnel, and then she was wheeled off the court. She tried to walk it off.
I like that. She's tough.
That's exactly right. Tried to walk it off. They said, no. Let's see.
Tough balancing stuff with a bad wrist, though.
Well, she clearly will have to take some time off.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll have to get ready for college basketball season because college basketball needs
right around the corner.
Right. That's exactly right. How about those Royals, huh?
Yeah. Got a win last night.
You feel better now?
No. Been far and few between. Yeah. That wasn't a really pretty game last night. It was hard to watch.
You know what?
Oof.
It was a win, so it was beautiful.
Yeah, I guess. It's just
when you can't win last night. I mean, when you can't win, any win like last night is fine.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay,
that's true.
You know that. They'll take whatever they can get.
Neither pitcher was very good.
You know, and I made the. I was tired.
Oh, I was too. I fell asleep. I fell asleep watching on the couch I remember the fifth inning, and that was it. I was gone. I couldn't get beyond that. I was so tired.
Now, here I was going to ask you about Kag's last at bat. I thought he got a hold of one, and it was to the warning track.
Warning track.
But it looked good.
I went back and watched some of the videos this morning, but
yeah, because if I try that, and if I can promise you, if I turn the game off or if I go to sleep, something will happen stunning that I won't. I'll miss, and I'll wake up in a freaking frenzy. So I went to bed.
As tough as it's been for him,
right?
He's done a nice job in the outfield.
Yeah,
he really has.
That's good.
But I'm sitting there, I'm going, wow, he's really.
Yeah, I went to bed and watched the game. So I wanted to see, just what happens if anything.
That's it.
Note happens.
There's certain guys you sit there and go, okay, I want to watch him hit. The rest of them, it's like, nah.
But that last at bat, he jumped on one, and off the bat, I thought it was gone, and it wasn't.
No.
But still, they took care of business against Emerson Hancock, and they got the victory last night.
Yeah. Good matchup tonight, though.
Noah Cameron and Logan Gilbert.
Yeah, that'd be a fun one to watch. As far as pitching, yeah, that'd be a good one.
So you did watch Michael Lorenzen?
Yes, I did.
What were his issues last night?
Just command. I mean, he was pulling his fastball. He threw a lot of pitches, and usually when he starts to throw a lot of pitches, there's going to be an inning where he implodes, which he did. Yeah, he's got to have the command right from the start. And the first two pitches of the game, he pulled a fastball down and in. I'm going, oh, this isn't good. But the good part about it was, the first at bat, India's first at bat, he drives the ball to right center for a double. I'm going, that's the approach we need. That's what we're looking for right there. I mean, that's exactly the swing he needs. And actually, most of the guys we have on the team. Think opposite field gap. if you think about driving the ball there, we'd be okay. But we don't do it.
As opposed to what he said last week when he was interviewed after a game at Kauffman Stadium and said that he was
overswinging and trying to pull the ball and
thinking about home runs.
Yeah, exactly. And that's pretty much it.
And he even said you can't have that approach at this ballpark.
Not any ballpark. I'm sorry, Even I played at Fenway, and if you thought about pulling the ball off the green monster, if you're a right-hander, you're going to have a tough series because it's not going to happen. If you think right center, you'll catch one once in a while, middle in and hit it out. But if you got to think gap to gap.
I thought was interesting last night in the broadcast that they spent time. They showed Kevin Seitzer a couple of times,
yes.
And they talked about how he's helped Cal Raleigh, who's been one of the big stories of the
and how
Major League Baseball season
when he was at Atlanta, how they were flourishing. Yes.
Did that surprise you?
That Atlanta let him
go? That they were talking about him so much?
No.
Because
I know.
Usually the Royals broadcast runs from that.
Yeah, I know.
And they know what people have been talking about and what we've been talking about. They know Seitzer was available in the offseason, and now people are wondering why or if. And there were people talking about that on this radio station when it was happening. Man, the Royals should bring back Kevin Seitzer.
That's what I was thinking too.
And
I says our pitching is good. We just need to get some guys that can hit the ball and a different. Hey, look what he did with Alex Gordon. I mean,
but I wonder what. I think we've now figured out allegedly that Alex Zumwalt DMs people on X that are critical of him.
I heard that. I was listening yesterday, and I'm going, oh, yeah.
Look, man, I don't know what to tell you. That's allegedly some people have posted some screenshots of him DMing them after being critical of him, which
It's a good thing I'm not on social media because I don't care then, right?
You know what I mean? But I don't, whatever. People can do whatever
He
they
might
want.
be the nicest guy in the world, but what we're seeing is...
Everyone has said he's a super nice guy and everything
else.
That
doesn't mean you're a good hitting coach.
Well, correct. But I think that just feeds into it if you're
I would never, ever get on social media if I was a manager or coach. You're just asking for trouble.
But I'm curious what his reaction might be when he finds out how the
broadcast
was highlighting Kevin Seitzer and all the good work he's done.
Yeah.
Because they know what the discussion has been in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Why didn't the Royals bring back Kevin Seitzer? What could he have made a difference?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
he would have.
Do you think he would have made a difference with this team?
Oh, yeah. There's no question in my mind. Seitzer understands hitting. He understands all the approaches. He understands how to get to people. And he knows that no two people are alike. You can't, put everybody into a mold and this is how you got to be. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to take each individual and work to their strengths.
Well, what's
and
wrong?
Seitzer knows how to do that.
When you watch this team, again, all hitters are different,
right?
But when you
the
watch
approach?
This, what's wrong with the approach? What's wrong with it? Be specific.
They do not think about gap to gap. There's no consistency about what you're trying to accomplish with the bat, and either he's too nice and doesn't get on them, or I don't know. I don't think he's got to know this stuff. You don't get to that spot where you don't understand what hitting's about. So I have no idea. But you can't get up there and swing at pitches out of the zone and then take fastballs right down the middle. Bobby Witt's, he's starting to warm up a little bit, but he's still swinging at pitches he probably shouldn't be swinging at.
So, but do you think, are you, because there are people that believe that the Royals should move on from Zumwalt now and do something to shake things up? other people
you got to
wait
make
to the off season.
You got to make sure. Well, if you wait to the off season, Steve, it's
Well, my point is, how much of a difference would it make or could it make if they made a move like that in season?
If you got the right guy and got his philosophy and what he's trying to do.
They would just promote from within.
Yeah.
Can they promote from within and get a different message, or is it going to be the same message, different voice? You see what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you have to go outside? I mean, they're not.
I would.
I don't believe they're going to go out. Like, if they made a move right now, it would just be someone internally that would take over as the interim hitting coach. And so I don't wouldn't the message be the same?
Yeah. You're kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. If you do it now, you're settling with whoever you can get. If you go in the off season, get yourself a hitting coach. Now all of a sudden you got just spring training to change everything. It's right. It's a tough call.
But there also needs the hitters are the ones that go up there and
they're responsible.
It has to be on them as well for not executing, right?
Right.
And so the argument for making a drastic move like that in season would be more from the mental side to shake things up. And these guys look at each other.
I sure would like to get them off those iPads.
Well, just
watch the game and see how the pitcher's reacting to each hitter. No, everybody's on a pad in there, and it's watch what he's doing to guys.
Were you ever on a team that fired a coach or a manager in season?
Oh yeah.
So then, what was the clubhouse like that day or the next day?
Nothing. It did nothing.
Or was there ever a feeling like, damn, we cost this guy his job? That's on us.
No doubt about
I mean.
it. Yeah.
So would it have some type of effect like that for the Royals hitters? Like,
yeah, I'm sure they would feel awful.
But that's
and they would take those hitters. All the hitters would come out and say, "Hey, this is our fault."
That's the argument for making a move like that. Because I don't know how much.
It's not going to fire anybody up if you make the move. That's why I would wait to the off season, but the only problem with that is implementing the change, and when all you have is spring training. That would be tough. I mean, it might take several months before it works. So if you get a new guy, you're going to have to be patient with him, and we don't have the time to be patient. I saw Cal Ripken's son has a podcast, and he was talking about how somebody came out and says the Orioles missed their window because of what they've done, the front office has done, and all the other stuff, messing everything up. Missed the window. What did I tell you? There's a 3-year window generally where you have a chance. We have the pitching. You can't miss that window. You have to find a way to get there. I mean, I thought last year we were getting close. I mean, we were scoring when we needed to score. Our pitching was fabulous, and everybody was healthy. This year we've had some injuries, but the pitching's still been great. I mean, we just generally we'll score 5 to 8 runs in one game, and then we'll go a week where generally we don't score anything. That doesn't work.
They're letting this play out for another. Like we talked to Buster Olney about this too, for another couple of weeks,
right?
To the All-Star break.
Yep.
To see what this team does, to see if this team gives the front office a reason to go out and make a move. But the main guy that we're looking at, because you have to talk about not only if you're going to sell, who you're going to sell.
Lugo's the only guy we got.
Right, Lugo. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, Lorenzen might be a guy someone's interested in, but it's
that'd be a bullpen piece or somebody. Yeah,
with Lugo.
Oh yeah,
you could trade a couple of pitchers,
but you're still not going to get a lot. It's a rental thing.
Well, for Lugo, you better get a lot, or why trade him?
You're not going to.
Don't
not for a
3-month
rental. They're not going to get a lot. That's the problem. Unless you got.
I don't know.
Unless you got an organization out there that's just loaded in the minor leagues with
the
prospects.
Chicago Cubs and the Los Angeles Dodgers both need starting pitching.
They do.
And are both loaded with offensive talent in the minors.
Do it.
And you can play them against each other. You know teams can get caught up, and whether it's a runner player or not.
It's been that way since baseball has been going on.
The Dodgers saw Lugo up close.
Mm-hmm.
He's exactly the kind of pitcher that a contending team would love to have, right?
I would love to have him, yes. Mm-hmm.
And if you've got a guy, and both the Cubs have really good, talented outfielders or offensive players that are roadblocked because their system is either so deep or just they don't have a spot open at the major league level, guys that are ready to play at the major league level, you could trade Lugo for something like that.
Oh,
and so that's the question. Do you do that?
Yes.
Because
I'd do it right now because there's a ton of pitchers out there. There's just not a lot of offensive players out there.
There's a difference in trading Lugo for prospects that are an A-ball that you may not see at the major league level for a couple of years versus a guy that can come in and be ready now.
The good part about it
is you could have team control over for several years.
The good part is you mentioned two teams who they got a lot of cash and they got a lot of prospects. And I remember when I played, George Steinbrenner, if he wanted somebody, didn't matter.
That's how the Dodgers are.
That's how the Dodgers are. If they want somebody, they're going to go get them.
And the Cubs, And
the Cubs are in a division. It's a dogfight with Milwaukee and St. Louis right now. They have to have a starting pitcher.
And for the Dodgers, they're going to contend every year.
Every year.
But they have that's like what you described. They have that mentality that whoever we want, we're going to
go get.
We have the resources.
That's what the Yankees were like back when I played.
I mean, look at their farm system. They have I could give you a list of prospects that I'd be thrilled if the Royals acquired from the Dodgers organization.
And they wouldn't miss anybody if they traded
It's
them.
a drop in the bucket to them.
Right.
And guys are ready to go. All right? And so, an example is one of the Cubs' really good hitters. Their starting first baseman, Michael Busch.
Mm-hmm.
He was roadblocked with the Dodgers for a couple of years. And you'd look at the numbers he's putting up in the minor leagues, like, how come the Dodgers didn't have anywhere for him to play?
No.
And they made a trade. He went somewhere where he could play, and now look what he's doing.
Are you going to take Freddie Freeman out of there? No, we're not going to take Freddie Freeman out.
You have, and that's why when people, if he's not good enough to play for his team now, why do the Royals want him? Well, it's a little bit different.
A little different.
If you're playing in the Cubs organization or the Dodgers organization, you might be roadblocked, and that's what the situation is. So you take advantage of that. But you got to find teams that, number one, are either, all in all the time, the Dodgers, or a team that wants to capitalize on what could be a magical season, the Cubs, and they're in a dogfight with the rest of the division, the Cubs, and take advantage. And not that desperation, but there's an opportunity there for both sides.
Yeah. The Dodgers are just loaded.
And so I think you can, and especially, and now the pitching depth and how they would replace him is another story. But imagine if you did say, okay, Lugo and Lorenzen, and they could look at it. We could put Lugo in the rotation.
Yeah,
Lorenzen could be the veteran pen, or be like that.
I would like Lorenzen in the pen.
Swiss Army knife and do whatever they need.
Yeah.
Like if you're a contending team, what kind of boost to get those two guys?
Oh,
You'd be fired up.
I would
You'd give up an outfielder.
A high prospect, yes.
Or a couple of guys, maybe.
But most of the time when you're looking at these,
very aggressive, Drake.
And the thing is, the Dodgers they could go out and re-sign Lugo, and it wouldn't even faze them. Hey, we're going to get you for 3 months or whatever it is, but we want you for 3 more years. So here we go. Here's your money. Or maybe it doesn't even faze him.
Maybe he re-signs with the Royals because he likes
that. Would be nice.
That's called the old Jack Flaherty.
Uh-huh.
The Tigers traded him before the trade deadline, and then they brought him back in the offseason. That's what Drake likes. Okay?
I don't know if that would. I think if Lugo got out there and had some success out there and found out he can actually win.
Right. I mean,
That'd be tough to bring him back.
I'm
But
just throwing it out there.
I know. I agree. I would love to have him back, but
Yeah, by the way, in AAA in 2023, Michael Busch had a 1,049 OPS, 27 homers, 90 ribbies. You're like, why is he
Freddie
still
Freeman.
in AAA? And so this year for the Cubs, he's blossomed, and he's hitting 282 with 14 homers, 50 ribbies, and an 889 OPS. Pretty damn good.
yeah, we take that, wouldn't we?
Right.
Yeah.
So, find your Michael Busch. Find some Busch. Back after this on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Welcome back to New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Drake, we missed you the last couple of days. Jack Johnson was here because Jack Johnson was filling in for the fill-in. Because normally Drake fills in for Jake.
I heard that. And Jack couldn't find the right buttons to press.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
For
But you know what?
The sounder button.
But he did very well for a first time running the show. It's not
Nice.
easy.
No.
And he said he had Now, this is Jack's words. He said before he did this, he had zero respect for Jake, but now he has a lot of respect for Jake.
1%.
He sees what he does.
I can tell, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you see that, Drake, don't you?
I got back from my vacation yesterday, and as I got off the plane, I looked over at the next gate, and there was Jake in line to get on the plane.
Was he really?
Yeah.
So now where did you go?
My wife and I, for our 30th anniversary, which isn't for a couple of weeks, but it was, this is when
How
we
many
could get
years?
time off. 30.
Okay, 30. Congratulations.
We went to upstate New York and kind of went around, saw Niagara Falls and a bunch of stuff up there. And
you went to Niagara Falls?
I did, yeah.
That's a bucket list.
Did you
for
go?
me.
Did you go over the falls in a barrel?
No, but we got one of those stupid pictures where it looks like you did, yeah.
How do they do that?
They've just got this backdrop thing. And
Yeah.
It's a half barrel, and you stand in
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I played in
Barrel
Rochester all those years. I did the Niagara Falls thing a few times.
Spent the night in Rochester.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a nice little ballpark downtown.
It wasn't there when I played.
Okay.
No.
Well, what I drove past was nice.
Yeah, it's nice now.
Buffalo's weird. It looks like it faces south,
Yeah.
and that's not good.
No, not good. It's different now. Different team. Everything's different.
So had you been to Niagara Falls before?
I did, but I was like 8. So I
Okay,
don't
so
really
then
remember.
was it going as a couple? Did it live up to your expectations?
It was fun. It was hotter than my wife thought it was going to be, and we were not dressed appropriately. And the walk across into Canada, as she likes to say, she got a little stabby.
What's that mean?
She gets angry and
Oh.
short-tempered. But
That's a unique way to phrase
yeah.
that. That's
But-
frightening, to be honest with you.
we had lunch in Canada, and it's just beautiful.
So it was worth it. You liked it.
Yeah, the U.S. side has cleaned up a lot since the last time I was there, like 40 years ago or whatever. It was last time I was there, it was kind of the U.S. side was kind of seedy, and the Canadian side was beautiful. The Canadian side's still beautiful, but the U.S. side has really cleaned up a lot.
I wanted to go there. I first wanted to go there when Superman saved Lois Lane.
Right,
Remember
sure.
that? When she
Yeah.
jumped over just to try to prove that Clark Kent, Christopher Reeve. Remember that? That was,
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to go there if I could. What about so when you went to Buffalo? Did you go to the Anchor Bar to have the original buffalo wings?
No, and in fact, there was an Anchor Bar up at Niagara Falls.
You see, but that's not
right
the
by,
original.
I know,
yeah,
right by
the
where we
original
parked.
one,
No,
yeah.
I did have some wings. I went to a place called Wing Nuts.
Wow.
That was right by the airport, which is where we were staying. We'd already turned in the rental car, so that was easy, and they were really good. They also have something up there they call pizza logs.
Oh, yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
basically an egg roll with
Pizza filling. Yeah.
and then you dip it in marinara.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good.
What the hell's wrong with that?
Nothing. I was going to say they're good.
A lot of buttery garlic, and
Yeah.
you got to be careful to burn the roof of your mouth because the contents are
Right.
pretty warm. Yeah, it was good.
So good trip.
It was a nice trip, yeah, and now, well, we haven't quite been married 30 years yet, but next couple of weeks we'll be there.
Right.
You should have taken a trip down to the Finger Lakes.
We
Rochester.
drove
What's
through
that
the
supposed to
Finger
mean?
Lakes. We went to Seneca Falls,
Mm-hmm.
which are right in the Finger Lakes there. My wife did a lot of the, of course, women's suffrage history there, wanted to see some of the museums and
Right.
stuff, and
And you're not that far from Baseball Hall of Fame, Cooperstown.
I went there about 2 years ago for my 50th birthday, and it's just beautiful. It's a great area. It's really, there's no direct way to drive anywhere.
No.
How
not
far is
at all.
like how far is Cooperstown from Niagara Falls?
It's maybe only 200 miles, but it's going to take
Oh,
you
it takes forever. Yeah.
forever. Yeah,
That's from Rochester. It took forever because I went down when George and Nolan and Robin went in.
because when I went a couple years ago, I stayed in Utica, which was 35 miles away, but it took maybe almost an hour and a half to get there.
It's pretty tough. Going into Cooperstown, the same way, and it's hard to get. You got to park forever to get down in there.
I noticed when I was in Cooperstown, they had a lot of helipads. I think some of the bigger wigs chop her in.
Did you chop her in?
No. Nope. No. I parked way out there and walked in like everybody else.
So was Canada? So you said you had lunch in Canada. What else was?
Yeah, that's pretty much all we did because it was hot. Yeah, I had a very subpar burger in Canada. It was kind of a gross meat, but it was good.
Gross meat.
Well, it's just kind of
Well, what kind of meat was it?
It was kind of institutional beef, I guess.
Wasn't yesterday Canada Day or something? I don't know.
They got a whole day, huh?
But it did get me thinking, with the All-Star game coming up, I always hate the day after the All-Star game because there's no baseball whatsoever,
Right.
and baseball kind of loses all the momentum. I got to thinking maybe they should do the Hall of Fame inductions the day after the All-Star game and play the Futures game at Doubleday Field there in Cooperstown and have the Hall of Famers there watching the future stars. I think that would be – and then baseball doesn't lose its momentum that way. It completely owns that day.
Listen to this.
New commissioner, right here.
I like this.
Yes. Drake's going to be the new commissioner.
I'll take it.
Do you like the current commissioner?
Not really.
Why?
Way too much change.
Okay.
Stupid change.
Wow. So you'd like Drake to be the commissioner?
I would. I think that's a great idea. Why not?
Let's take a break.
Why?
Because we'll be right back after this on Sports Radio 810 WHB.